What's up, guys? ER Sports here. Ernest, Ralph, we're here to talk to you about what we love the most, and that is professional sports. And I know I got the Miami Dolphins t-shirt on, but no, we're not talking about the NFL. It's just really comfortable. We want to go ahead and continue our 2019 offseason segments, and this time we're going to roll with a different team. We're going to go with the Boston Celtics. But before we go any further, bro, how you doing?
My man, chilling, man. Like I said, right now, off-season talk is the word right now, my man.
I mean, I know I got a football shirt on, but it's green. So since we're talking about the Celtics, I got.
But hey, why the hell not? Who the hell? Okay, fine. We'll call it green.
We're on camera. They don't know that. Why you gotta be a jackass like that?
Guys, it's green. Okay, it's green. Go for it.
Anyways, Boston Celtics offseason talk. I'll kill you after the video. Boston Celtics offseason talk, guys. As we know, the Boston Celtics, they fell a little bit short of their 2019 offseason goals. In 2018, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron and the Cavs, man. And they did all that without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. So the assumption was in 2019, with these young guys, having these superstars coming back healthy, they were going to go the distance. They were projected to go to the championship. They were projected to beat the Golden State Warriors.
By some people.
Yeah, and they lost in 5 games to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, my man. After winning game 1.
After winning game 1, Antetokounmpo crushed them. Antetokounmpo, say that 10 times in a row quickly. Yeah, not easy. So, Boston Celtics fell in hard times. Yeah, as we know, they were the belle of the ball a few years ago with that trade in the Knicks. They got all those draft picks. They still have a couple draft picks. You know, in this draft, they have a lot of draft picks. So they're still looking pretty, bro. But as we've been hearing recently, hearing the rumbles, things aren't going so pretty with the Boston Celtics. So what's been going on, man? Phil, ER Sports Squad.
My man, well, the first part is not much that really out there nobody knows about. It's Kyrie Irving, my man. So all signs are pointing that Kyrie, his tenure in Boston is going to be ending short.
We did the video of Kyrie Irving. As you guys can see, we all know what Kyrie Irving's going through.
Yeah, so bottom line is this, my man. All the rumbles out there, and Kyrie Irving is not indicating that Boston's one of them. So it looks like they lost out on Kyrie Irving after 2 short years. And unfortunately, 2 years that are probably not going to be remembered for the best of memories in terms of the success on the court. But it is what it is, my man. I don't blame Danny Ainge for making the move that he did, my man. He made that move to put the Boston Celtics in the best position to go ahead and succeed and be in position to hopefully win or contend for an NBA championship. It just didn't work out that way, my man. So it looks like Kyrie Irving's out the door. And as we just heard recently reports, Al Horford opted out as well. And not only is he opting out, now the indication that he's seeking a 3, even a 4-year contract and will not be back with the Boston Celtics either, my man.
Yeah, and most guys, most people are thinking that Al Horford is crazy. He opted out of a $30 million option. Most people think at his age, cash in. It's a great contract, but at the end of the day, we don't know. As athletes, especially when you hit your 30s, you don't know where your body's going to go. So if Al Horford has an opportunity to opt out, get a 4-year, $100 million contract, that's benefiting him the best.
So let me stop you right there.
Yeah,
so like my brother mentioned, good point by the way, a 4-year, $100 million contract. There's actually a report out there that Al Horford's got an indication that there is a team out there willing to make that offer. So before you guys go ahead and start laughing about how do you give a 32, 33-year-old center that much money, you gotta realize how Al Horford's game is predicated. I know you love that word. His game suits perfectly with today's NBA. All right, even at the starting center position. He can spread the ball. He can go ahead and shoot the 3 ball. He's actually an excellent passer when it comes to being a big man. He's one of those big men that still has one of the best all-around games in basketball.
Yeah, he's a big man that can play well into his 35, 36 years. So giving him a 4-year deal, doing terrible.
Now, am I going to completely rule out that he will return to Boston? I would say no, because sometimes people do get desperate. Maybe Danny Ainge he's in the cusp of losing Kyrie Irving. Maybe there's going to be some pressure on himself thinking, okay, you know what, I have to try to bring this guy back. But reports are all out there right now that Al Horford is fielding offers out there, and Danny Ainge and Boston Celtics are not willing to match these offers. So it definitely looks like, my man, Boston's going to be starting their summer, man, losing perhaps 2 of the 3 best guys, man, and Kyrie Irving and Al Horford.
Yeah, so they lose 2 of these guys. However, I don't feel that they're completely in the hole.
Okay.
We saw in 2018 that Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, these boys, they showed something amazing. Now, Maybe it fell off a little bit last year, but as we're seeing, maybe Kyrie Irving isn't the best fit for these guys. So next year, they're going to be given the keys. They're also going to have Gordon Hayward, who's coming off a long off season, coming off this injury. It's going to be 2 years after the injury.
Yeah.
As you and I discussed off camera, he's probably not going to return to the All-Star form, but he's still going to be a key contributor coming off this team. So the Boston Celtics, it's not like they're falling off the East, but my question to you, bro, do you still think they can be a top 4 team in the East?
So if I'm Boston, before I answer that question, so this is why I'm Boston. You mentioned 2018, no Kyrie Irving, no Gordon Hayward. What did they do? They came 1 win away from reaching the NBA Finals. So if I'm Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics, my man, look, you just mentioned they're not going to fall off all the way. Can they be a top 4 seed? Surprisingly, I still believe they can.
I think so too.
So if I'm Boston right now, you're going to probably lose Kyrie more than likely. You're probably going to lose Al Horford as well. If I'm Danny Ainge, my man, I'm fielding offers out there. Okay, what can we get out there? What can we fetch in the Gordon Hayward trade? What can we fetch in the Gordon Hayward trade, my man? You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way we thought. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can get out there from. Let's get that big number off our cap and just say, okay, you know what? Let's go back to the drawing board and let's keep building from within.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm under the impression that, you know what? If they do all that, my man, you go ahead and you hand the keys to Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah, he is, in my opinion, bro, possibly the next Kobe Bryant.
I'm not gonna get that far.
I believe it, man.
Okay,
he's the second coming of Kobe.
So hold your juices. So I'm not gonna say he's the best. It's not crown his ass.
He's the second coming.
So look, guys, I'm high. Apparently not that as high as my brother. Hey,
I'm not that
but
high.
Look, guys, but do I believe that Jason Tatum, you give him the keys to this team, can make that next ascension, that next step, like the way James Harden did when he first arrived in Houston from Oklahoma? I could definitely see a scenario like that playing out, man. Jason Tatum, man, he does have the total package in today's NBA game. He is a scoring machine, can hit the 3 ball, and is a good defender, will be a better defender.
Oh, yeah.
So, is Jason Tatum the guy that you say that can be the best player on the championship team? That's yet to be seen, my man. It's too early in his career to say yeah.
I mean, he did prove that he could lead a team deep in the playoffs.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You give him the keys, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna push for it. He's gonna cash in. So we believe that if you give Jason Tatum the number 1 ranks, it's not like that he's going to fold and do bad. He will become an all-star. He will become a top player in this game, and he will make real dues with this ball.
No, and then just look at it. I mean, it's not only Jason Tatum. You still got Jaylen Brown. I'm high on Jaylen Brown's game.
Yeah, it's number 2 on this team. Definitely Jaylen Brown.
And then Jaylen Brown can still he's a really good defender, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And he saw him throughout the year that he has the ability to hit that 3 ball. Not as consistent as Jason Tatum or Kyrie Irving, these other guys. But I do believe as time goes by, as the years goes on, he'll be able to develop that shot and actually be a very respectful 3-point shooter in this game, and will be a great fit alongside Jason Tatum. Obviously for years to come, because their contracts will be coming up soon. They're on their rookie contracts. I believe Jaylen Brown has 1 more year in his rookie contract. He'll be up for an extension. Jason Tatum has 2 more years. He'll be up for a big time extension. So really what it looks like right now, man, with the Boston Celtics, that's going to be their cornerstone right now, man.
All right.
And on the sidebar, remember, it's not those 2. You also got Terry Rozier.
That was good. That was the next topic I was gonna go into. So one thing I wanted to ask: now that Kyrie and Al Horford are gone, you're moving into the next step. Because obviously with Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, you got a beautiful nice score. You need a point guard. Terry Rozier comes in. You know they're gonna try to get him. An interesting name I'll throw out there, bro. Bring him back. Come off the bench. Why don't we talk to Isaiah Thomas?
IT, man.
Why not? Why not? I mean, he was heartbroken when they traded him. He was willing to come back last year when Kyrie was on the team, but they didn't have a fit for him. They had Kyrie and Rozier. Now you let Rozier start.
Yeah.
IT came off the bench for Denver. Why wouldn't he come back to Boston? So my question to you, bro, do you give Rozier top dollar? And my follow-up question after that, if they lose Horford, they're going to need a center. They're gonna need. I mean, I know they have Baynes right now.
Yeah,
they possibly have Baynes starting. But would you try to use some of the money to go after a center, give Rozier that money, maybe go after IT? Any specific ideas?
Well, the ideas are going to start in draft time. It's going to start in draft time because right now.
That is another topic we haven't gotten into.
Because Boston right now, they currently hold 3 picks in the first round.
They got
the 14th pick, They got the 20th
Well, the
pick.
14th pick, how did they get the 14th pick?
They got the 14th pick due to the Sacramento Kings.
Gotcha. Just to fill in our sports spot.
Yeah, that's what happened. It was with that whole trade that happened with Markelle Fultz when Philadelphia went ahead.
Yeah, just for some of you that don't remember when that trade happened, they got it from Sacramento.
So they got the 14th, they got the 20th, and they got the 22nd pick.
Wow.
I do believe that Boston's answers for a center can be completed in the draft. There's a young man from Texas, Jackson Hayes.
That's true.
I think he's a really good player.
Very
However, I don't know if he'll be available on the 14th overall pick. But Boston, the good thing about it, they still have plenty of assets if they want to go ahead and move up and grab a guy like him. Another guy, Bobo from Oregon.
Yeah.
We keep hearing
He's
about
projected
Bobo.
to go to Boston on the 20th pick.
Well, it all depends. I mean, I've been hearing in the combine that he's actually been really impressing a lot of people.
Yeah. He's a guy that's 7'2" that can hit the wide open three. So I mean.
Yeah, no, I think he's actually taller than 7'2".
Really?
Right?
I know,
yeah.
7'2". Wow.
No, my man, I heard he's even
And
taller.
his dad is 7'7". So he played in the Miami Heat, but.
Yeah, guys. We're not 100%. I believe Bobo might be in the 7'4" range around there.
He's a monster.
There, a monster who weighs less than us. You know what I mean? But even at that height, my man, he's showing the ability.
Hey, Bobo, if you see this video, gain weight.
Hey, shout out to your dad for real Miami Heat, Manu, my man. But you know what? His is a game that actually could be transcended into today's NBA.
Okay.
So I think there's a few routes that Boston can go ahead and pretty much address that center position. Jackson Hayes, I think, will be a terrific pick. They might have to trade up for him because Jackson Hayes' stock has really started to climb.
Yeah, he's probably going to go somewhere between the 8 or 12 range.
But Bobo could be another option as well.
Yeah, man, definitely. Or maybe, hey, if you can trade up and get Jackson Hayes and maybe use the other pick if Bobo falls, get those two. Mixed with Baynes, you can play those three around in the power position. You never know. But Boston hasn't fallen off. For all these people that think with Kyrie and Al Horford leaving, no. Boston Celtics are here to stay. They're going to be here for a really long time with these young guys.
No, and you know what? Whenever you have Danny Ainge, my man, as your president, and you also have Brad Stevens as your head coach, they're not going to fall off.
Exactly. So Boston fans, even though it's Heat fans, we don't always see eye to eye.
No, definitely. Yeah, right?
We don't always see eye to eye. But it's okay. It's going to be okay.
But let's get back a few moments ago. So, this is the deal. Terry Rozier.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Kyrie Irving.
No.
I think that we have that pretty much clear. But, man, that run that he had last year in the NBA playoffs, my man, this kid was playing top-notch, my man. Hitting three ball, playing defense, facilitating offense. I would hand the keys to him as well, my man. Obviously, handing the keys to the team will go to Jason Tatum.
What would you say the fair contract is for Rozier?
It really all depends, my man. Look, really, Boston doesn't have to do nothing. They really don't have to do anything.
He's a restricted free
agent. He's a restricted free agent. So, guys, remember, restricted free agents out there, most of you probably already know, but for those who don't know, that means the team can match any contract that another team throws out to you.
Exactly.
And they have 3 days to match it.
Exactly.
So, it's pretty much a shoe-in. Unless somebody exaggerates, it's ridiculous. Those are my max offers. That's not going to happen.
Like, do you think that Rozier will probably get like a 4-year, $80 million offer?
It all depends what the teams think about him. I think a fair deal for Terry Rozier, my man, honestly, will be in the 4-year, the $55 to $60 million range.
I can see
I think that's a fair offer.
I think that's a real fair offer for something like that because even though he had a good season, he's not proven as a star point guard. Now you have him, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum. We can wing out some of these center positions.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward, obviously, if they make that Gordon Hayward trade, if that's possible, that's going to free up a lot of cap space for them.
Absolutely, it would. Yeah.
So can they be if they're able to trade Gordon Hayward by the free agency, they can actually go get in the room with some of these max player level guys, right?
So yeah, they could. So that's.
I mean, I know it's shooting far. I know we're looking at stars, but this is the Boston Celtics.
Well,
video.
I'll be honest with you. Right off rip, losing Kyrie, losing Al Horford, that's freeing up money already. Because really, after all that, your only big money you're really tied up to is Gordon Hayward for this upcoming year. Until you go ahead and you sign Terry Rozier to a new contract. Mm-hmm. And remember, you got Marcus Morris as well, who's a free agent. So if Marcus Morris leaves, that's more money you're going under the cap.
And guys, look at Danny Ainge to seriously try to make a trade in the draft. I can definitely see Danny Ainge putting a package with Gordon Hayward, some of those draft picks, a future draft pick, just to free up that cap space to get into a room with a guy like Kawhi. If we know anything about Danny Ainge, he's just like our Pat Riley in the Miami Heat. He's ruthless. He will do anything it takes to make his team better. So I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, my man. I mean, it's far-fetched. It'll be tough. I mean,
But if anybody can pull it out, man, it's Danny Ainge. We've seen it.
Well, right now we're seeing Danny Ainge was going on, my man. You're on the verge of losing your 2 All-Stars, Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. So that getting it done, my man. That's why I said Boston.
But I think it's gonna open up this team because as good as they were projected to be, when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of young guys that were trying to prove themselves and a lot of older guys that were trying to win. Sometimes it doesn't work.
And they're going to be able to continue to prove themselves.
Yeah,
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
Now they're going to be given the keys. And who knows, man? They're probably going to be a top 4 team. So let me ask you, man. As far as the Celtic goes, we've talked about Kyrie. We talked about Horford. We talked about their players. We talked about Gordon Hayward. We talked about some other. I know I mentioned smallly about IT. We're not going to get too in detail about it. That's kind of like bringing back the home guy.
It'd be a great story.
It would be a great story. And he'd be a great backup point guard. My question to you, bro. I'm sure some of the ER sports are just like sitting like this waiting for it. Wild card. Anybody out there that might fit this young core team perfectly, maybe even with Gordon Hayward or without him. Any wild card out there?
So, okay, I know Boston Celtics fans, you would love to see come July 1st that Boston Celtics have signed Kevin Durant. Boston Celtics re-signed Kyrie Irving. Boston Celtics signed Kawhi Leonard. Unfortunately, B-Town, that's not going to be in the cards this year, my man. And I don't see any top free agent like that committing to Boston, period. My wild card, though, if Boston go ahead and commits, they go back to the drawing board. You commit to your young guns. Jason Tatum, your franchise player. You also got Jaylen Brown being the second option. Terry Rozier being your point guard of the future. Making some maneuvering on the draft to find that center or even additional players. Marcus Smart. I actually love Julius Randle's fit on this team, my man.
Wow.
I think Julius Randle, my man, honestly.
You know, part of me earlier was thinking about that when we were talking.
Great minds think alike.
It's serious. I'm like, Julius would be a nice fit.
So Julius Randle, he's not going to come cheap. He's probably going to command a starting contract at least in about the $22 to $24 million range per year. But look what Julius Randle did last year, man. Career year averaging 21 and nearly 10 rebounds, my man. And he's great around the basket. He's developing his three-point shot as well. And I think if you slide this man at the power forward position next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, my man, I think Boston has a great young team up and coming moving forward.
Absolutely, bro. I really like that. I don't throw wild cards, but I have a little one.
Hey, here we go. A curveball for your sports.
So
he's still my thunder, but I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Somebody I like.
Who you like?
Let's say
you can't draft yourself.
No. Not myself, even though it'd be great.
Yeah, sure.
They probably have to make some moves. They might have to trade Gordon Hayward or something. This is an idea of myself. Mm-hmm. You need a big guy. Why not talk to DeMarcus Cousins?
Hey, that's another good one.
DeMarcus Cousins.
That's
another good one. This young squad.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 2 years removed from a year and a half removed from the ACL.
Now on the sidebar, like I said, not to steal your thunder. Remember, DeMarcus has always been in talks with Boston. With Boston having all those assets previously.
Very true.
But they always mention, and Danny Ainge never pulled the trigger. Now, this is in terms of trade. He never was willing. There was actually one time that Sacramento called for Marcus Smart and one of their late first round picks, and Danny still turned it down.
Oh. But I mean,
because it's all about DeMarcus because he's
but he's older.
True.
He lost in the. Sometimes when you have your greatest loss, bro, your greatest defeat, it changes you and humbles you a little more. Maybe not DeMarcus Cousins, I don't know. Yeah. But he's getting older. He's gonna be with these young guys. He's gonna be more in a leadership role.
Yeah.
He's not. Maybe he's calmed down a little bit. This is a winning team. It's in the East.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positives out there, and you're playing for Danny Ainge with a great coach like Brad Stevens.
If Cousins commits, my man, and he can go ahead and settle down as a player, I can see that being a great fit.
Definitely, and I think he'd be a great fit with the young guys. Let me tell you, bro, will DeMarcus be a 28-12 guy again? Guys, honestly, in my opinion, unfortunately, I don't think so. But could DeMarcus be an 18, a 9, shooting 36% for three?
We'll have to wait and see.
It's possible, but with this team, he could be. Or who knows, he could be like an Al Horford. A guy that stretches, passes, average 15, 8 rebounds, but still pulls in when he does. DeMarcus Cousins had good averages here. He averaged about 16 points, 7 rebounds. Mm-hmm. Coming off that Achilles injury, that's a really good year for him.
No, absolutely.
So if Boston pays him what he feels he should get, get in a room with him, I think DeMarcus Cousins would be a great fit. So ER Sports, it's your turn. What do you guys feel? Boston Celtics fans and people that just want to talk about the topic. What do you think? Do you feel that the Boston Celtics are going to come in a high now. The fact that Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, supposedly as maybe the locker room cancers, have left, and now the young guys can step up. Or do you feel, no, now that all this experience is gone, Boston is going to fall down, they're going to be in the bottom part of the East. We want to know what you think. But guys, before you let us know what you think, most importantly, hit that subscribe button, like, share on social media. Most importantly, I said it before, bro, but what can they do?
Subscribe.
Click, click, click. Guys, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. ER Sports out. Before we go, big bro, you want to add anything?
This is a mouthful, my man.
And that's
Enough said.
See you next time, guys. Peace.